Hello, my name is Alex. I, as well as Darren, am a part of the technical services team at Paloma. This video will highlight the different ways that a user can identify differences in their compare, as well as how to create a PDF report in STREAMdiff. So to begin, after the project is set up properly, you will see the side-by-side view of the control file on the left, which is your original document, and your test file on the right, which is your new file or what you want to compare it to. The first window that I want to highlight is our page list over on the right. This shows a quick summary as far as how many pages contain at least one difference in the control and test file. Any page number that is highlighted in red contains at least one difference in the control and test file. Any page number that is highlighted in green is considered to have no differences between the two. After selecting the page that you want to investigate further by double-clicking in the page list, the next window to take a look at will be located in the bottom left corner of your screen. This is our category difference list. Here, STREAMdiff lists the different categories of differences that is checked. The three categories that are used the most are variable text differences, which highlight textual differences in the compare, variable image differences, which will flag differences in images such as company logos or other photos, and variable graphic differences, which are often seen in differences in barcodes, charts, or graphs. In a similar manner to the page list, any category that has a green circle next to it will have zero differences within that category, whereas any category with a red X next to it will contain at least one difference within that category. In this case, as you can see, there's a red X next to the variable text difference category. Let's focus on that first. When I double-click on the text category, you notice a few things. One is that the differences in the category are now listed near the bottom of the compare. Additionally, red arrows appear in the side-by-side viewer. The little arrows are pointing to all the differences that are listed down below, whereas the big arrow is pointing to the selected difference from the list below. For example, if I were to change and toggle between differences, you will see that the red arrow is now pointing to whichever one is highlighted. Looking at the differences list, you can see the headers of this list as a more specific example of what STREAMdiff is looking at in the text category. Within each of these headers, any of the data points that are black are going to be the same between the control and test, and any data that is highlighted in red are going to be different in the control and test file. You can see that both of the differences for the variable text category are text differences between the control and test file. The first difference in this case may not be super intuitive as far as what the difference actually is. So, one way that we can look at this in a more in-depth detail is by double-clicking on the specific difference. Doing this will open a detailed difference window. This shows the exact characteristics for this difference. Opening this window for this difference shows that there's actually invisible text on both of these pages, and the text between the two are changing near the end of the strings. Another feature that STREAMdiff has that can help identify the specifics within these differences is called the Difference List Tooltip. To access that, you can go to your View menu, go near the bottom and select Difference List Tooltip. Once that is selected, you should be able to hover over the difference in the difference list, and you will see the highlighted portion that is different between the control and test. So as I mentioned earlier, in this case, the first difference, you can see that the numbers are slightly different near the end of the string. And if I hover over the second difference, you can see that the area code changes from 304 in the control to 591 in the test. Next, I'm going to move on to the variable image category that STREAMdiff has flagged. When I double click on that category, this will list now all the differences within the variable image category. Looking at the difference list, it appears that this one difference has a change in the X position. When I hover over the difference, you can see with that difference tooltip that there is actually a 30 pixel shift in the X direction. Now, 30 pixels can be difficult to visualize since it is a relatively small amount of space. One cool feature that STREAMdiff offers is its merge overlay option. Near the top right of the compare, the third icon from the right is what we select in order to enable the merge overlay feature. When I click that on, essentially what that is doing is taking the controlled file, placing it on top of the test file, and giving you the visual difference in the middle. Now, with this feature turned on, the user can easily see the 30 pixels shift in the company logo. You can even click and hold to see the exact crosshairs between the control and test file. This feature is a great way to visualize any major differences between the control and test file. In addition to identifying differences by the ways that I've mentioned, the user also has the ability to customize the way that STREAMdiff points out these differences. We do this in STREAMdiff by editing the difference markers. So, to access this feature, you can go to your Settings menu, select Difference Markers. Here, you can get creative on how STREAMdiff highlights differences. You can see that I have two customizations set up here for the different categories. If instead of a red arrow, you'd like to change it to something else, you can select the desired shape and color here. Once I have my color and shape selected, I can select Add, select OK. Now, if I go back to my text category, you should see that that difference marker has now been changed. This is a great way to make the user comfortable in identifying differences in their own way. The last part of this video that I'm going to show is how to create a PDF report in STREAMdiff. Creating a PDF report allows users to send and share the results of a compare without utilizing a license. To create the report, you can go to your File, Report Setup. Here, we will select PDF File Report. Then, we will also make sure that the side-by-side view is selected. This will ensure that both the control and test file is seen in the report. Lastly, we recommend to select all pages when determining how many pages should be in the PDF report. This will make sure that all of the pages that contain at least one difference throughout the entire document is going to be located in this PDF report. After selecting Create Report, it will give you an option or a window to select a safe spot to save off this report. Once I hit Save, it will generate a link for you to select. Now that that link has been created as shown here, I can click on the link and your PDF report should be there. Now you should be able to see the differences that you saw in the GUI now in PDF format. This concludes our video about identifying differences in STREAMdiff. If you have any questions regarding the topics in this video, please contact Paloma Support. Thank you for your time.